I'm the king of the underground of rock and roll, and by them condemning me, what they're doing is condemning the whole underground scene in general, and we can't be stopped, and I won't be stopped.
Kevin Michael GG Allin, born Jesus Christ Allin on August 29, 1956, was one of the most controversial and provocative figures in the history of rock music. His career was marked by extreme acts of transgression, including self-mutilation, defecation on stage, and physical assaults on audience members. Despite, or perhaps because of, these shocking behaviors, Allin attracted a dedicated cult following. This video will explore the paradoxical allure of GG Allin, examining why so many people were drawn to his chaotic performances, the nature of his stage acts, and the psychological and cultural factors that fueled his infamous reputation. Allin's tumultuous upbringing played a significant role in shaping his later persona. Born into a dysfunctional family, he experienced severe abuse and isolation. His father, a religious fanatic, subjected the family to threats and a primitive lifestyle devoid of basic amenities. This environment of fear and control profoundly impacted Allin, who later claimed that his childhood made him a warrior soul and laid the foundation for his rebellious nature. Allin's early musical influences were diverse, ranging from 1960s British invasion bands to the shock rock of Alice Cooper and the raw energy of punk pioneers like the MC5 and the Stooges. These influences merged into a unique style that combined aggressive music with increasingly outrageous stage performances.
My body is the rock and roll temple. My flesh, my blood, my fluids, it's like a communion to my people.
Allin's descent into extreme performance art began in earnest in the mid-1980s. His shows became notorious for their violence and obscenity, with defecation, self-harm, and assaults becoming regular features. The turning point came in 1985 when Allin defecated on stage for the first time, an act that set the tone for his future performances. Due to these extreme behaviors, Allin began developing the aforementioned cult following. His fans were drawn to the raw, unfiltered expression of rage and nihilism that characterized his shows. For many, Allin represented a rejection of societal norms and a radical embodiment of punk's anti-establishment ethos. His performances were not just concerts, but confrontational events that challenged the boundaries of acceptable behavior.
Rock and roll is revenge, rock and roll is your enemy, and I'm your enemy.
The appeal of GG Allin can be understood through the lens of transgressive art, which seeks to shock and provoke by violating societal norms. Transgression, in this context, serves as a form of resistance against conventional morality and an exploration of the human psyche's darker aspects.
Allin says he'll begin a concert tour next week, but he's not sure if he'll ever again play in Milwaukee.
GG Allin's performances were designed to shock, and for many fans, this shock value was a key part of his appeal. In an era where much of popular culture was becoming increasingly sanitized, Allin's raw, unfiltered performances were a stark contrast. His willingness to engage in self-destruction and obscene acts was seen by some as a form of authenticity, a commitment to living out the punk ethos to its extreme.
Such a narrow-minded, hypocritical puppets of society trying to kill rock and roll, and they can't do it.
The defense argued Allin was exercising his right of free expression when he defecated on stage and threw feces into the audience.
Allin's acts of defiance resonated with those who felt disenfranchised or disillusioned with mainstream society. His music and performances were a rebellion against authority, societal norms, and even the music industry itself. This anti-authoritarian stance made him a hero to those who felt similarly oppressed or marginalized.
To hell with what your parents have to say.
Okay.
I am the man.
Okay.
That all you have to do is listen to what I have to say.
Okay, well, who told you you were the Messiah?
I said I was. And I am, because these kids, I get letters from all over the world. People worship me. They come to my shows. I'm going to rape the girls. I might rape the guys. I might have sex. I want it all.
For many attendees, Allin's concerts provided a form of catharsis. The chaos and violence of his performances allowed audiences to vicariously experience a break from the constraints of everyday life. The extreme nature of his shows offered an escape from the mundane and an opportunity to engage with taboo subjects in a controlled environment.
When you come to my show, I'm the boss, I'm the king, you do what I say. You can challenge me, I have no problem with that. I like the confrontation, but you're going to lose.
One of the central questions surrounding GG Allin is whether his on-stage persona was an act or a true reflection of his character. Evidence suggests that Allin's behavior was not entirely an act. His self-destructive tendencies and violent outbursts were consistent both on and off stage. Psychological evaluations during his trial for assault in 1989 described him as having a mixed personality disorder with narcissistic, borderline, and masochistic features. However, Allin was also highly aware of the performative aspects of his persona. In interviews, he often spoke about his desire to push boundaries and challenge societal norms. He described his body as a temple of rock and roll, and his bodily fluids as a communion for his audience, suggesting a deliberately artistic intent behind his actions on stage. This duality, where genuine pathology intersected with calculated performance, made Allin a complex and enigmatic figure. However, his assertions about engaging in sexual acts with minors and animals is extremely alarming. And the question is, are those assertions being made falsely by the act of GG Allin, or were those legitimate, truthful confessions?
But Allin maintains there can be no limits in rock and roll.
GG Allin's rise to notoriety must be understood within the broader cultural context of the 1980s and the early 1990s. This period was marked by significant social and political upheaval, with movements advocating for civil rights, gender equality, and anti-establishment ideologies gaining traction. In this environment, Allin's extreme performances can be seen as both a product of and a reaction to the times.
Those are the very people who are getting raped and killed because they don't know how to handle tragedy because they're never put in front of a tragic situation. And when they come to my show, I'm going to give them the hard lesson of life.
The punk rock movement, with its emphasis on DIY ethics and anti-commercialism, provided fertile ground for Allin's approach. Punk's rejection of polished performances and commercial success in favor of raw, unfiltered expression resonated with Allin's philosophy. His willingness to go further than any of his contemporaries in terms of shock and transgression was a logical extension of punk's foundational principles.
My name is GG Allin.
And I'm Merle Allen.
And we were the band The Murder Junkies, and we're out for revenge, and we're out to put danger back on the road and use our rock and roll as a weapon against society, the government, the industry.
The media played a significant role in amplifying Allin's notoriety. Shows like Geraldo and The Jerry Springer Show provided platforms for Allin to reach a broader audience, while sensationalist coverage of his antics ensured he remained in the public eye. This media attention both fueled his cult status and perpetuated his image as a dangerous and deranged figure.
I mean, when you go on tour with me, I mean, you got to expect that you're all, somewhere down the line, you're going to be in jail more than a few times, and you're either going to end up in the jail or in the hospital, so.
In a culture increasingly dominated by mass media and commercial interests, there was a growing hunger for authenticity. Allin's willingness to literally put his body on the line through self-mutilation, defecation, and violence was seen by some as a brutal, honest form of expression that cut through the artifice of mainstream culture.
And that's pretty much what we do on stage as well. I mean, I've had people on stage, I've held hostages on stage. I had a girl one time at knife point, I had a knife to her throat.
The allure of GG Allin can also be examined through psychological and sociological lenses. From a psychological perspective, Allin's extreme behavior and its reception by his audience can be linked to concepts such as the abject, catharsis, and the role of the other in society.
Oh my God, this is the one. This is the motherfucker, man. Oh, this is the album. All right, Johnny Osmond.
Philosopher Julia Kristeva's concept of the abject, a reaction to that which is repulsive and taboo, can help explain the fascination with Allin. His performances forced audiences to confront abject aspects of existence, such as bodily fluids and violence, challenging their comfort zones and societal norms.
I hear laughter.
Allin's concerts provided a space for catharsis, a concept rooted in ancient Greek drama. The intense emotions provoked by his performances allowed audience members to purge pent-up feelings of anger, frustration, and alienation. This emotional release was a powerful draw for those who felt oppressed by societal constraints.
Somebody got a fucking laughing problem? Got a laughing problem, motherfucker? Fuck you! Fuck you!
Sociologist Emil Durkheim stated that societies define themselves through the delineation of norms and the identification of others who exist outside these norms. Allin, with his extreme behaviors, occupied this role of the other, allowing mainstream society to define itself in opposition to his transgressions. His followers, however, embraced this otherness, finding a sense of identity and community in their shared rejection of societal norms.
But my stuff is not really poetry or fiction. The stuff that I've written is more like what I've been through, what I'm going through, and what I'm going to go through up until October 31st, 1990. So it's more going to be like a reality reading more than like a fictional thing. It's going to be stuff that I'm just going to be, going into my own mind on the spot.
GG Allin's legacy is a complex one, marked by a mix of revulsion, fascination, and admiration. His influence extends beyond music into a broader discussion about art, performance, and the nature of transgression itself.
Why didn't I kill myself sooner? Why didn't you kill yourself sooner?
Allin's willingness to push boundaries influenced a generation of musicians and performance artists. His impact can be seen in the work of artists who explore themes of violence, bodily autonomy, and the limits of human endurance. Bands and performers who engage in shock tactics often cite Allin as a pioneer of such things. GG Allin's life and career continue to serve as a cultural commentary on the nature of fame, the role of media, and the boundaries of acceptable behavior. Documentaries, books, and academic studies have examined his impact, ensuring that his legacy remains a topic of discussion and analysis for years to come. The myth of GG Allin, fueled by both his actions and the media's portrayal, continues to captivate. While some view him as a misunderstood artist pushing the boundaries of expression, others see him as a symbol of self-destruction and societal decay. This duality ensures that Allin remains a polarizing figure, his life and work subject to ongoing reinterpretation.
Here, have a fucking chair!
GG Allin's appeal lies in his ability to embody and amplify the contradictions of his time. His extreme performances were both a rejection of societal norms and a mirror reflecting the darker aspects of human nature. The allure of his chaos, the raw authenticity of his actions, and his challenge to conventional morality created a persona that continues to fascinate and repulse. Understanding GG Allin requires grappling with these contradictions and recognizing the complex interplay of psychological, cultural, and societal factors that fueled his notoriety. His legacy, though controversial, offers valuable insights into the nature of transgression, the search for authenticity, and the enduring power of the abject in art and culture. Whether viewed as a visionary artist or a disturbed individual, GG Allin's impact on the world of music and performance art remains undeniable, prompting ongoing reflection on the boundaries of expression and the nature of rebellion.